Nutrition is the process through which an organism consumes food and uses it as fuel, to grow, to repair damaged body components, and to produce new tissue. The substance that is needed by an organism to survive, grow, and reproduce is called nutrient. There are various types of nutrients on the basis of functions they perform: energy foods, carbohydrates and fats. Bodybuilding foods, proteins. Regulating foods, vitamins and minerals. Modes of nutrition. 1. Autotrophic. Autotrophic nutrition is one in which organisms prepare their own food from simple inorganic substances like carbon dioxide and water in the presence of sunlight and chlorophyll. 2. Heterotrophic. Heterotrophic nutrition is one in which organisms get their food directly or indirectly from plants. Chlorophyll. Chlorophyll is a green pigment found in plants. The greener the vegetable is, the higher its chlorophyll content. Chlorophyll is located in a plant's chloroplasts, which are tiny structures in a plant's cells. This is where photosynthesis takes place. Chlorophyll's job in a plant is to absorb light, usually sunlight, to produce oxygen, O2, and glucose. Chlorophyll gives plants their green color because it does not absorb the green wavelengths of white light. That particular light wavelength is reflected from the plant, so it appears green. Chlorophyll can be considered a foundation for all life on Earth because food webs in every type of ecosystem, from terrestrial to marine, begin with photosynthesis. Photosynthesis is a process by which green plants prepare their own food from carbon dioxide and water in the presence of sunlight and chlorophyll. Through photosynthesis, the plant uses the stored energy to convert carbon dioxide, absorbed from the air, and water into glucose. Plants use glucose together with nutrients taken from the soil to make new leaves and other plant parts. The process of photosynthesis produces oxygen, which is released by the plant into the air. The process of photosynthesis purifies the air by consuming CO2 and liberating O2. Site of photosynthesis. Photosynthesis takes place in chloroplasts, kitchen of the cell, which contain the chlorophyll. Chloroplasts are surrounded by a double membrane and contain a third inner membrane, called the thylakoid membrane, that forms long folds within the organelle. Thylakoid membranes look like stacks of coins. The green pigment chlorophyll is located within the thylakoid membrane, and the space between the thylakoid and the chloroplast membranes is called the stroma. Stomata, typically found in plant leaves, are tiny openings or pores in plant tissue that allow for gas exchange. Each stoma has a pair of specialized cells known as guard cells which control the opening and closing of the stomatal pore. Stomata allows a plant to take in carbon dioxide, which is needed for photosynthesis. They also help to reduce water loss by closing when conditions are hot or dry. When water enters the guard cells, it swells and the pore opens, and when the guard cells lose water, it shrinks and the pore closes. Types of heterotrophic nutrition. Saprophytic. It is the type of heterotrophic nutrition in which organisms get their food from dead and decaying organisms. They release digestive juices on the dead and decaying matter, which convert the organic matter into liquid form. They absorb this liquid and obtain nutrition from it. Example: mushroom, bread mold, yeast, some bacteria etc. There are three main types of heterotrophic nutrition. 1. Saprophytic. 2. Parasitic. 3. Holozoic. Parasitic. It is a mode of heterotrophic nutrition in which an organism, parasite, lives on or inside the body of another organism, host, to get their food without killing them. The parasite gets its nutrition from the host organism. Example: ticks, lice, leeches, roundworms, tapeworms, plasmodium etc. Holozoic. In this mode of nutrition, organisms take food directly, ingest, and then digest and absorb it. Example: amoeba, paramecium, birds, fishes, humans etc. This type of nutrition is commonly seen in most of the animals where the animals consume whole food and it is broken down inside the animal's body. Example: human beings, animals. Nutrition in human beings. Human beings are omnivorous animals, which have a complex digestive system. Nutrition in human beings takes place in the digestive system, which consists of the alimentary canal and glands which produce enzymes to break down food. The main organs of the digestive system are mouth, esophagus, stomach, small intestine, large intestine, and anus. The main glands are salivary glands, gastric glands, liver, pancreas and intestinal glands. Buccal cavity. The digestion process begins from the mouth. It is also known as the oral or buccal cavity. The buccal cavity consists of the following accessory organs. Teeth. The food is broken down into smaller particles by the teeth. 2. Tongue. The tongue helps to push the food towards the inner part of the mouth for swallowing. 3. Salivary glands. Salivary glands moisten the food. Saliva contains the enzyme salivary amylase which converts starch into sugar. Then the food passes through the esophagus into the stomach. Esophagus. Esophagus, also known as the food pipe, is a muscular tube which connects the mouth to the stomach. The slightly digested food in the mouth is swallowed with the help of the tongue and goes down the food pipe. When the food enters the esophagus, its walls start rhythmic contraction and expansion called as a peristaltic movement. This peristaltic movement of food pipe pushes the slightly digested into the stomach. Stomach. The stomach is a J-shaped, sac-like organ present on the left side of the abdomen. It stores food and helps to digest it. The walls of the stomach contain glands which secrete gastric juice that contains the enzyme pepsin, hydrochloric acid and mucus. The stomach mixes the food with the digestive juices. The hydrochloric creates an acidic medium which activates the enzyme renin and pepsin. They help in the digestion of proteins. It also kills the bacteria which enters along with the food. The mucus protects the walls of stomach from its own secretions of hydrochloric acid. Then the contents, called chyme, are passed into the small intestine. Small intestine. From the stomach, the partially digested food enters the small intestine. The small intestine is the largest part, about 6.5 meters of the alimentary canal, which can be divided into 3 parts. 1. Duodenum. 2. Jejunum. 3. Ileum. The small intestine is arranged in the form of a coil in the abdominal cavity. It is the site of complete digestion of food, like carbohydrates, proteins, and fats. It receives the secretion of 2 glands. 1. Liver. 2. Pancreas. Small intestine. 1. Liver. It is the largest gland of the body and secretes bile, greenish-yellow liquid made in the liver and stored in the gallbladder. It secretes 500 to 1000 milliliters of bile per day. 2. Pancreas. It is the second largest gland of the body, secretes pancreatic juice, containing the enzymes pancreatic amylase for breaking down starch, trypsin for digesting proteins and lipase for breaking down emulsified fats. Large intestine. The large intestine is around 1.5 meters long and is divided into 3 parts. 1. Scum. 2. Colon. 3. Rectum. It absorbs water and remaining nutrients. The waste products are changed to solid stools after absorption. The rectum stores stool until it is pushed out of the body after a bowel movement. Thank you.